Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how to create fabric native components for React Native 76 and plus. So React Native 76 was just released, and this is also fabric component is basically like a native component which is not directly available in React Native. So suppose like Swift UI charts, those are not directly available in React Native. You will have to either use a third-party library for Swift UI chart if it is available. If not, then you will have to write your own native code. So in this particular tutorial we will be creating a web view. I know for web view we already have a third-party library, but this is more of an understanding on how to create fabric native components in React Native's new architecture. Now I have already made a ton of videos about this, like how to create native components using like different kind of native components, but the steps have changed a little from React Native 76. Also from React Native 76 the new architecture is enabled by default, so we don't have to do any extra steps. The second thing is, while creating a new project, make sure you are using React Native 76.1 and above. If you use React Native 76.0, there is one issue. If you check the documentation which are related to iOS, so you will have to fix this manually. I don't want to go into that. That's why make sure you use React Native 76 and above. I think if you're watching this video in the future, this particular thing might have been removed because React Native 76.1 was just released. Now to create a project, I'm using this React Native community template. Just run this particular command and create a project. I have already created one project. Now let's follow the documentation and I will try to explain as much as I can. So first we'll go to so firstly they tell us that create this project. We have already created it. Okay, then it tells that we have to create this particular thing inside our project. So I'll just copy this. You don't have to. So I'm already inside my project. If you see, in the project name is test app. I will do cd dot dot, so I'm outside my project inside the terminal, and then I'll just paste this command. But here instead of demo, if you see, the project name for them is demo. My project name is test app. So whatever is your project name, you will have to change it over here. So I will just replace this with test app. This is basically creating all the directories which we want. You can create this manually as well, but I'm just following the documentation just because they have given it like so. Just create, enter, and if I go to my project, here you can see, you will see the specs folder which was created. So this one, and inside Android app src main java, here you can see they have created this web view folder as well. Then so we have all this project structure. Then what it says is, inside our specs folder we have to create this particular file. So I'll just copy this, I'll close this, I will go to our specs folder and I'll just use this. Okay, once this is done, I will copy everything inside it. So here we are creating a component for web view, right? So basically a web view will take a source URL or URL of your website. So that's what we are taking. We are also taking this on script loaded. This is basically like, once the web page has been displayed successfully inside the web view, I want to send an event back from native iOS or native Android back to React Native side, right? That's why we are using this. If you don't want, if you're not sending any kind of a data from native Android or native iOS to React Native side, you don't need to use this. But I want to send some data, that's why we are using this. Okay, and here you can see this is web script loaded event, which could be either success or error. That's why they are sending it like this, and this is the name custom web view. Okay, then again I'll scroll down. Then I have to copy this particular command, so I'll just copy this. Now here they have made some mistake, so I'll just tell you, I think by the time you watch it in the future, the mistake will be resolved. So this should not be native local storage. They have copied it from the turbo module example. This should be like custom web view. Let's see what they have written in the package name for Android. So if you scroll down even further, okay, sorry, this is only for iOS, right? So for Android I will have to select this. what is, so the package name is WebView. So I'll just copy this and I'll paste it over here. They have, this is a typo inside the documentation. Okay, all right, so we are done till this. Then what I will do is I will just cd to my test app. Given that we have modified our package.json, I will just do npm install, or if you are using yarn you can run that. I think by default it is using npm, at least for me. Okay, again coming back over here, so inside the Android folder, so for Android we have to do this, we have to run this particular command so that it can run code generation for us. So I will just do, first I'm showing it for you, showing it for Android, then I'll show it for iOS. So just go to this Android folder, okay, and then I will just copy this particular thing and I will just paste it over here. Now this will take little bit of time, so be patient. Then what I will do is that I will just open Android Studio, because you don't need to really open Android Studio, you can do all this code inside VS Code as well. But the problem with VS Code is we don't get proper IntelliSense for Android related code or Kotlin related code. Android Studio is really great in that, that's why I'm using Android Studio. You don't have to use it. Now what I'll do, I'll just click on open and I will go to my app, my cam, this is my test app, right? And here you will have to click on this Android folder which you have and then click on open. So it will open the Android folder for us, Android folder inside Android Studio. Okay, then it is telling that inside the WebView folder create this particular file. Now I will create this from VS Code itself, but at the very end I will just check whether the code is proper or not, if there is any error, because the documentation is still new, that's why there could be error in this. So I will just go to Android app src main java, and inside WebView you will have to create this particular file, react webview.kt. okay, then I will copy all this code and I'll just paste it over here. So here you can see that they have given this particular package name, these are all the imports which we have. Then here they are just calling this configure component. If you see over here, this is the configure and it is extending from the WebView, which is the Android WebView. So by default the parent layout is WebView, and we are just assigning layout params of match parent, width and height to our this particular WebView. And as soon as our page has finished loading, here you can see we are emitting this particular event, calling this particular function which will help us to say that this is a success event. And here you can see this is the function which has been created, and this is how you will send some data back to React Native side. Now this is little complicated, but like I told you, you don't have to always do this. If you're only interested in sending data, you should do this. And again, these are helper for that, and this is also an helper for that. So yeah, that's what all this code is about. Then again I'll go back to the documentation. Then it says that create this react webview manager.kt. so I'll just copy this, open this, and here I will just do paste it over here, and I'll create this Kotlin file. Okay, and I will just copy it and I'll paste it over here. Again the same thing, this is our package name, these are all the imports. So this is kind of like a boilerplate class which you have to write. Here the only important thing is wherever is React WebView, if you are creating your own component. So here suppose instead of React WebView I have written it as my WebView, so I will have to write my WebView over here as well as over here, then over here as well, over here. So here we are basically instantiating our React WebView, and here whatever props you send from React Native side, it will come over here. And if it is not equal to null, then we just call the load URL which is present inside this particular WebView which we have extended from. And if it is null, then we just emit this particular error. Okay, and here I have just created this React class of custom WebView because this is the name we gave over here. So I've used it over here as well, and this is again boilerplate code which you have to write for sending the data from native Android side to React Native side. Again, so I'll just scroll down. So we are done with this. Then we have to okay, so here they have made a mistake. This should not be React WebView, it should be React WebView package. Again, there is an issue with the documentation. So I'll just go over here, and we have to create a file called react webview package.kt, and again I'll just copy this code and I'll paste it over here. Then again, this is our package name. Okay, these are all the imports. This is a turbo react package, and here we are basically calling this react web view manager which we have created. So again, you can just change this name, rest everything will remain the same. So this is also kind of like a boilerplate code which you have to write. Okay, then what we'll have to do is we'll have to add this particular import inside our main application.kt file. So go to your test app, main application.kt, and I will just add this import because this was my package name, right? In case if you have written some different package name, you will have to use that over here. Then here we have to just add this particular code. I'll just copy this, and here I will just add it something like this. So here we are calling this react web view package which we have created. So hope rest everything is same. Next here I will just go to app.tsx. Before that I'll just open Android Studio. Let me quickly check if there is any error inside my code. I don't think so there should be any error. So yeah, here you can see it is getting properly highlighted. So yeah, no error as such. Okay, here I'm getting error, custom web view manager delegate. Let's see if it is really an error or not. Okay, manager. Okay, let's keep this for now. We'll come back to this later in case if there is any error. And here is our react web view package. Okay, this also looks fine to me. And if I go to main application, ignore this error, like this is Android Studio does not play nicely with React Native. What I'll do, I'll just click on this hammer icon. You don't have to click on it. In case if there is any error, I'll come back. Like Android Studio will let me know. Here you can see now this error automatically got resolved. So yeah, sometimes you do see this kind of stuff with Android Studio not playing nicely with React Native. Okay, let it be. Now what I'll do is I'll just add this particular import inside our app.tsx. So if I go to app.tsx, I will just close this. I will remove this. Okay, and I'll remove all this as well. I don't really want this. And here I will, I need to add our import, right? So here I will add our import. Then I will come over here, and here I will just paste this particular thing. So here you can change this to whatever you feel like. And here on script, one script is loaded, I am displaying an alert. So I can just import alert from React Native. And we also need this particular web view style, right? So that I can get it from here. So I will just add it inside our styles. Okay, so this error is gone. And also for Android Studio, here you can see now all the errors are gone because I click on this hammer icon. You don't have to click on it, but yeah, sometimes Android Studio does not play nicely with React Native. Anyways, now let's come at the top. And for firstly, we'll have to go to iOS folder. Okay, not yet. Okay, so first I'll go to iOS, and then I will have to cd to the iOS folder. Oh, okay, this gave me an error because it couldn't find an HDK location for me. Okay, the command which we ran for Android, it gave me an error. Okay, what I can do, I think for you this might be successful. If it is successful, don't worry too much about it. I think for me the Gradle build is still happening. Let's see if pressing on this hammer icon automatically does the code generation for me or not. So I will just ignore it for now. Okay, what I will do, I will just do cd dot I will cd, not this, I will just do cd to iOS. Okay, we'll just open Firefox. Okay, and I'll just copy this particular command. Okay, so my Android is done. Okay, so my Android is done fine. like I don't have to worry about this particular command getting failed, because I clicked on this hammer icon and I think it automatically generated all the necessary code for me, and I think that is the reason why it was giving me error at the start. So if you're also getting error like me after running this .gradlew command, make sure you open the Android folder and install Android Studio. After you have written all the code, just click on this hammer icon and it will automatically do code generation for you. Okay, then for iOS we have to paste this particular command, so I'll just paste it. I think it will fail for me. Let's see whether it works or not. Okay, it is working for me again. Now this will take little bit of time because it has to install all those extension and dependencies. So once this is done, I'll come back. Okay, so for me the command failed, so I'm getting this error. So typically to resolve this error, I just run this particular command. Now I have this is mostly because of the Ruby version not matching, so I have already done this previously. I didn't do it again. Let's quickly see. Like I'll just copy this, I'll paste it over here. Okay, now I will again run that particular command, bundle install. Let's see if it works this time or not, or if I just get the same error. If again I'm getting the same error, then I will have to install this particular. So I already have RBENV inside my macOS, then I will have to install. I'm not sure if this is the right version or not, but typically I just install one version of Ruby, and then the terminal gives me an error, okay, saying that this is not the right version, install this particular version. So the error message itself gives you what version of Ruby you need to install. But I think for me now this will work, I guess, because it is showing me all the installation and fetching and whatever it is doing. So once this is done, I will come back. Okay, so this command was successful for me. Now I need to run this particular command as well, so I'll just copy it and I will run it again. This will take a little bit of time, so be patient. Okay, this is giving me, okay, why so? I did do bundle install missing gems. Yeah, we did that. Okay, let me just try to run this again. I don't know why this is showing me an error. Okay, it is already done. Then I'll do this. Okay, let me just do simple pod install. Maybe that might maybe while creating the project, maybe the pod installation didn't work for me properly. I'm just guessing here. I think it did work. I'm not able to recollect, unfortunately. So I'm just doing pod installation in case if you are getting some similar issue. If you are not getting this issue and if this particular command runs fine for you, yeah, then you're good to go. You don't have to do all this step. But I think there was some issue with my pod installation. So yeah, let it do its thing. Again, this will take little bit of time, so be patient. Once that is done, I'll come back again. So the pod installation is done for me. Now again, I'll just for safety sake, I'll just run this command again. I think this should get completed immediately. Then I'll just run this particular command. So I'll just run this. So I think, yeah, okay, I'm still getting pod install. Bundler could not find. Install missing gem executable. Bundle install. I don't know why it is showing me that. Keeps showing me this bundler command not found pods. But my iOS folder does have pods, right? Yeah, it does have pods. Okay, yeah, finally I figured it out. Again, this issue is because there is an issue with the typo. It should not be pods, it should be only pod install. So yeah, so this should be something like this. Again, this is a typo inside the documentation, but I don't know, maybe by the time you watch it in the future, this should hopefully get resolved. Again, now this will take little bit of time, so be patient, because I want to generate the XC workspace. So here you can see it has generated this XC workspace project. Again, this is taking a little bit of time. Let it do its thing. Once that is okay, so this is done for me. Now I will have to double click to open this XE workspace inside Xcode. So here they are opening it with this particular command, but yeah, I have opened it manually, doesn't really matter. Then we will have to create a new group called WebView. So let me just wait for Xcode to open up. Yeah, my Xcode is taking a little bit of time, sorry about that. Okay, let me come back once Xcode is opened. Okay, so Xcode is opened for me. Then I can go to my test app, and inside my test app I will just right click, new group and I'll just give the name as WebView. Again, I'll go to documentation, and here you can see it is telling new file from template Objective-C file RCT WebView. So I will just go over here, right click, new file from template, then select Objective-C file, click next, give name as RCT WebView, click next, and then just click on create. And we will have to change the extension from .m to .mm, so it is Objective-C++, so something like this. So here also they have mentioned, right, see, something like this. Then we'll also need to create this header file of RCT WebView. So just right click, new file from template. That step they have missed in the documentation, so just next, and here again I'll just click on create. So it has created the header file for me as well. Okay, next what we'll have to do is we'll have to copy this particular code. This is our header file code. Again, this is common, mostly boilerplate code, so just paste it over here. You just have to change this particular name, rest everything remains the same. I'm not sure this should be RCT component view or custom view. Let's go with the documentation, but yeah, I still feel there are a lot of issues with the documentation. Again, I'll just scroll over here. So this is our Objective-C++ file, right? So again, I'll just copy everything, and I'll come over here and I'll paste. So basically we are importing our header file. Now these are all what would you say, boilerplate code which you have to write. So I've just copy pasted it. Here we are importing our WebKit. Then here again this is showing cannot find. Okay, let's go with the flow, let's see what happens next. Here I'm just creating this RCT custom WebView view protocol. Okay, because that is the name which we gave inside our TypeScript file, right? And here we will get our NS URL. Here we initialize the WK WebView. It is basically a native iOS component to display WebView. Inside the init method we initialize it, and we also set the navigation delegate. So once the page is loaded successfully, we come to know about it and we can fire our event. Then we added it to our parent view. Here we get the update props. So once the props are handled properly, this is how we get the props. So we just compare over here whether the old props are equal to new props or not. If they are not equal, then convert the string which you send from React Native side to NS string, assign it to this variable, and here we just pass it to our load request of our WebView. Okay, and here we override this method so that our WebView can occupy the same width and height what we have set it from React Native side. Now this even I don't understand completely, but this is used basically because we want to send data back from native iOS side to React Native side once the page has finished loading. So that's why we override this particular method, and this is how we send it. So here for custom event emitter, I think they have created it something like this. Again, this is boilerplate code, even I don't understand it. This is boilerplate code which you have to write every single time. But yeah, this particular code is for sending data back to React Native side. Okay, so this is done. Then Okay, you can go through the documentation if you want to. Then we have to just add this particular line to our app delegate.mm file. So I'll just go to this particular file, I'll add it over here. Then we also need to add this third party fabric component, so I'll just copy this and ns dictionary. Okay, I can just paste it over here. All right, so here is a warning in case if you are using React Native 76 and below, and we have already done this. Right now I feel like there are some issues with the documentation because we were getting lot of errors over here. Let me quickly build this project and let's see. Okay, now the errors are suddenly gone. Okay, I'll just run this project. In case if there are any error, I will let you know. Okay, now what I did was I just did command B inside my Xcode, so it basically builds your application. Now what React Native documentation promised that from React Native 76.1 this yoga style issue will get resolved, but unfortunately looks like they haven't still resolved this particular issue. So here you can see I'm still getting this issue. If you're not getting this issue, you don't have to do this step, but if you're getting this yoga style issue, then again I have also made a separate video about this. But here you will have to go to your app, you will have to go to build settings, and here you will have to search for header search path and double click on this, and here you will have to click on this plus button and just paste this particular thing which I just copied it from here. So this particular thing which we have to add, again I'll just do command B just to check if there are any more issues or not. I know some of you might be thinking why I'm not running yarn iOS from the terminal itself. What I have observed is that whenever I run yarn iOS, if I'm not confident of the code and if I get any error from yarn iOS, the error is not really helpful. Like there would be some weird edge cases, but looks like yeah, but if you try to build it from Xcode, you will get proper error. Here you can see we are also getting this particular thing. Okay, I think I was getting that, but somehow okay, so this error is still there. React renderer component not found. Okay, let me check this. All right, so I have found those mistakes. Now this warning from React Native is misleading. Like all these issues are not fixed in React Native 76.1, so my bad. I thought they must have fixed it, but they still haven't fixed it. But anyways, I think maybe in later versions they might fix it. Firstly, I want to tell you that here we were getting this error. Right now the error is because we need to write app spec, not app specs. So the first thing is there is this issue in the documentation. You have to remove S from everything. Okay, so remove all this, and then I will just do command B just to build our project. Then I will show you what other errors I'm facing. So first one was we have to add that yoga dependency. Second one was this particular typo. Now here we get this undefined symbol, and now if you see, they have given in the documentation that we have to comment out this web view CLIs in this particular file and this particular file. Now these two files are not created by us. They are created by the code generation command which we run. So for that you will have to open this pods folder which we have, open development pods, scroll down. Here you will have to sorry, not this, where is it? So here yeah, here you will have to go to this react -rct fabric, and inside that you will have to open this particular header file. What is the name? RCT third party, yeah, this one, this particular header file you will have to open, and then you will have to comment this out. Again in future versions I think you won't have to do this, and you will have to comment this out. Okay, and then you will have to come to this Objective-C file, and then you will also need to comment this out. So I have already commented this two out. Now the other issue which I am facing is this WK web view. So for this, again they have missed this particular step in the documentation. You will have to go to general, you will have to select your app in the targets, and here you will have to scroll down inside framework libraries and embedded content. Just search for web. Here you can see we have to add this webkit.framework, because this is, if we were using Swift completely inside our project, then we wouldn't need to add this. But we have, because we are using Objective-C, we have to add this. And this actually is a dependency for WK web view, which we are using inside RCT web view. Now I will just do a command B, and hopefully all the errors should get resolved now. Now this will take a little bit of time. So yeah, as you can see, the build was successful. Now I will just run my application and show you guys the output. Now when I tried running the application, here you can see I'm getting this particular error saying that too many open files in the system. I think this is because we have to run npm install again. That's what I think. And let me try to rerun this application, and hopefully this time it should work. Let's see. Okay, so npm install did not help. Even after doing npm install, I am getting the same error. So what you can do is just keep this metro bundler running, and once you do npm install, this code which we had commented inside this header file from our pods, so this particular header file got uncommented. So I just commented out this again, as well as I went to our Objective-C file and I also commented this out again. Now what I'm trying to do is I'm just trying to run this application via Xcode itself, because again I don't want any unnecessary issues. But you will have to keep this metro bundler running. I think there are a lot of this gotchas, and I think they should be fixed in future versions of React Native. But yeah, in case if you want to try it now, you can give it a try. Now let's just wait for the app to install. Okay, it is taking a bit of time. Let's just see if metro bundler is showing. Yeah, so finally it is showing. So let's just wait. Hopefully this should give us the output on iOS, and once our page is loaded, we will get an alert saying that the page has been loaded. Okay, so here you can see we are able to display the React Native website inside our web view, and we saw the alert dialog as well. So that's it for iOS. Let's check it out for Android as well. Running on Android, I'm not sure if the metro bundler, yeah, it is still, I think it is still building. Hopefully it should be done completely anytime soon. Yeah, it's done. Not sure why it is not getting displayed. Okay, so here you can see now it is displayed. Yeah, it does take a little bit of time on Android. React Native's performance on especially on low end Android devices like the one which I have does take a little bit of time. But here you can see the alert, and yeah, as you can see, I can scroll through this. Now I'm mirroring my device, that's why there is a little bit of lag, but hopefully you got the point. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. If you are following my channel for a longer period of time, you already know that I have made a ton of videos about React Native's new architecture, both for Fabric and for Turbo modules. But in those tutorials, the steps were a lot different. Now the steps are little bit different. So in case if you are interested in me recreating any of my older videos, do let me know in the comments, because there are a lot of videos. If there is no a request from anyone, then there is no really point in making those videos, because there are a lot of other things which I can make videos about. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.